everyone! Hello everyone, this is Light on the Tube. Oh. Hello everyone, this is Light on the Tube playing Forza Horizon showcase events for the car what I was just fighting for.
Okay, my friend, they are faster than you, but their turning circle is a lot wider than yours. So
okay, let me just start it and let me just check out one thing because I was... Oh yeah. Let me just... Yeah, I'm on to try out something what just worked in the Forza Horizon 1 and I'm thinking on that it can happen that it's going to work here, but of course it can happen that it's not going to work here. The point was that you did not really need it to get into the plane before the end of the race, and in that way of course it needed only before the two last checkpoints, I guess, before the finish. So in that way I think I'm just really able to try out the car, and it will be enough if I'm going to do the two last checkpoints in the fastest way I can. But I think it's just going to happen that I'm just going to figure it out, because of course they are just going to come back at some point, or they are just going to leave me that hard that at some point the race is just going to end. But of course, regarding to the first part of the Forza Horizon, I'm not really on to do such thing like not trying it out. Let me just check out the map, because yeah, I'm far, and even for that they are here. Let me just hope that it's just going to work, because of course it can happen that in this part of the Forza Horizon they just made it that way that the plane is just going to get into the checkpoint in a specific time, and in that way of course if you are just slower then you are just not going to be able to beat them. But I think it's just going to be found out, because they just went away really far, and I think if they were progressing then they are just going to get into the finish line soon, or at least I'm just thinking that. Yeah, until it lets me just try out the car what I was just fighting for, but of course I'm not really standing its color. But even for anything, of course it can happen that it's going to be a good car, not just looks good. Let me just try to get after the planes, and in that way we will be able to find out if it's just going to end at some point, or they are just really going to wait for me in the same way how they did it in the first part. And in that part it was just the point that to be faster in the two last checkpoint, and till there they are just waited for you at the last checkpoint or something, and I'm not really sure what is it going to be ever about. But if they are just going to come and they are just going to try to take the turn here, for some reason I'm just seeing them that they are just were above me. It can happen of course they just made the whole map and I'm just really far behind them. But let me just yeah, I'm thinking that they just really made it, and I think it's just not going to be good for me. Yeah, I think they just made it that way.
Ooh, so close.
No, it was not really close, but 244.
It'll be worth your while.
Let me just check out again, of course, because I'm guessing that they are not going to do it in 244. I think it's going to be much faster, so in that way they just not made it that great, but of course they just made it better. So let me just check out right now that if I'm going to go with them, then how much time do they will need to be able to make the map, I mean the track, and in that way I will be able to find out if it will be 2 minutes 44 seconds. How was it in the last race of them? But I'm not thinking on it. I'm thinking that it's just going to be around the 2, maybe less than just 2 minutes. Oh yeah, not should not. Yeah, I was not on to, but even for anything, yeah, I just made it wrong. I just did not. Of course, I got behind, but in some way, I think it's just going to work the same. That I can be slower, and of course I just should be fast when I'm just approaching the checkpoint, and because of that, of course, I was just on to, I mean, I really just got stuck into the dirt. But even for that, I'm seeing that I think this is going to be mine, if I'm correct, but of course it can happen that it's not. Yeah, it's not, but I just got closer to them. So in that way, of course, it can happen that I'm going to get closer to the finish, in that way that I'm just going to be able to finish it at the first place, because it can happen that no, I was still behind a couple of bit parts of the second, but I'm still not able to. They are just faster. But it was like in the last, I mean the first place, and in the last turn it was like that it could happen, that even for how you lost, how many times you were able to get into them, I mean in front of them for some unknown reason. They just made again, look at the time, yeah, it's around 2 minutes, and for that I'm thinking
well done, mate.
That of course, so I'm thinking that between 2 minutes and 2 minutes 44 seconds, between these two time, you are just really able to make yourself comfortable during on the road. I think it can happen that of course at the end you need to speed up, but in the beginning I guess that it's just working like that. The display team is just going to wait for you a bit, I guess. But even for anything, I think I just got the car. Let me just check it out. And in that way, of course, it's going to be really fine for me, because I'm just going to set it if I'm going to get it. I'm not sure, because it's just the first time right now, but because of that I just made 2 or 3 showcases before I got their car. So I just won a new car, the Aston Martin Vanquish. Alright, of course I want to get into, but right now I'm not on to beat my rival. Of course, if I'm on to, then I'm going to aim for the top, but right now I think I'm just going to check out my new car. And of course I guess that it can happen that the next race I'm going to try it out with it. But because of that, if I saw it correctly, it's an S1 class car. It's just going to be too fast for learning tracks. But even for anything, I might give a try. Let me just try not to get myself crashed by others. So yeah, let me just try to find a better parking. Okay, it's going to be fine, even for that it's just dirt. But of course, I'm going to thank you that you watched this one. I hope you like this one. At least I got my car, and then I will be able to race with it, or at least just to drive with it, because I'm not really sure that I'm going to use it for racing. I maybe try it out for the next time. And thank you for watching this video. See you. Goodbye.